You're listening to a Mash Those Buttons podcast. Visit mashthosebuttons.com for a full podcast schedule.
Cargo secured. Extraction complete. Intelligence System Analytic Computer is activated. All ISAC systems are confirmed online. Data scanned. Downloading files.
What's up, guys? You're listening to episode 104 of SITREP Radio, giving you the news and other happenings in the world of The Division. This week, we finally get a release date for GE Blackout and an update on the Division movie. That's still a thing. Plus some other stuff at the end of the show. But first, my name's Mike, and joining me are my co-hosts, Robert.
Hello.
And Luke.
Hello.
And I hope you're both well as our listeners, and you've had a great week. And welcome to any new listeners of the show. Robert, over to you.
What have I got to say? What, Humble Bumble?
Robert, over to you.
Yeah, we are affiliated with Humble Bumble, otherwise known as Humble Bundle. They're currently giving away a game. Why you listen to this? If you want a free game, go and check out their website. There's like, what it's called. Let me just check. It's called Satellite Rain. Back to you, Mike.
And before we go any further, just a very quick shout out to Chuck Cunningham, who very kindly donated some money to us over on our Twitch stream this week. Thank you very much, and that's helping support us as when we go to Gamescom in August. I think that's right, Luke.
Yeah, he received his mug this week as well, didn't he?
Yes, he did. So I hope you're enjoying it and maybe listening to this with your new mug with some coffee if you need it. Anyway, let's get on to some news.
State of the game.
So today, Thursday, the 19th of April, Blackout Global Event has been announced. Robert, when is the release date for it?
It's on Monday.
Which Monday?
Thank you very much.
Monday the 23rd of April.
Right.
2018.
Just checking.
12 o'clock. Is it 12 o'clock? UTC?
To be determined.
Yeah, that wasn't very clear on the state of the game. But it lasts for 7 days. Not 8 days, not 5 days. 7 days. They made that clear. Very clear. Said it more than once.
Thank you for making that once again clear itself. The modifier Blackout, the global event modifier, is agents are equipped with shock ammo and will be able to stun enemies. However, shooting or running builds your charge meter. The more charge, the more damage you inflict. However, it can also transfer to allies if you kind of build up that charge too much. And also, that's
only on extreme Blackout, though, right?
Yeah. Also, there's a really freaking cool overcharged melee attack where you can instantly kill enemies with the shock charge. But if you miss, apparently, you will stun yourself and your allies. So we're definitely going to be doing this to each other.
Yeah, it's going to be fun.
Yeah, we didn't actually get a chance to play this in the PTS, did we, Rob? Well, you did.
I did briefly, but I didn't really test it that thoroughly. I don't remember the melee thing, but I do remember the constant shock ammo. That was good fun.
Yeah, so the footage they showed on the State of the Game today was the first time I'd seen it, because we missed it by, it was a couple of hours when we tried to jump into the PTS when this went live. It looks awesome. It looks like such good fun. And I really like the shockwave effect when you melee someone and they go flying. I think it kind of feels like the global events that they've added between this one and Onslaught are just like thrown in there for a bit of fun, where the other ones are kind of there to challenge you. Obviously, it's going to be challenging. But Luke, any thoughts on that?
No. Echoing what you said, really. Because we've not seen it in the PTS, and I haven't even watched State of the Game yet tonight. I got home from work late and whatever, so I haven't had a chance to catch that up yet. So I haven't even seen any footage of it. So I'm quite excited to try that on Monday, to be honest. It does sound fun, I'll give you that much.
Yeah, from what I've seen, it's pretty good fun, and I'm sure we will make it interesting ourselves, as we always do, running the GEs.
Yeah.
First one to the elevator. Hey, Rob.
I love that game.
Also, we have 3 new masks announced. Robert, do you want to tell the listeners what they are?
They're called Vulcan, Tau, I think that's Tau, and Rictus. Vulcan is a flaming mask. Tau is a panda face. And
Looks
Rictus has like skull elements to it. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's got teeth in between like the respirators.
The masks, they kind of look like they're basically reskins of what we've already got, but they've got like art on them, I guess.
Yeah, I did see some people complaining about that, but I mean, at least we've got new masks. Like they could have just run the other ones in there.
Yeah, that's true.
On rotation. They've put time and effort in to do it.
They're still that's reskins, but they're better reskins. If that makes they make them better.
I'm not a big fan of
the panda ones also.
Oh. I was just about to say, I think that's the worst one.
What? No way, that's going to be hilarious in game.
Yeah, I guess so. I like the flame one, and the one with the skeleton jaws on the bottom of it. That looks pretty cool. But yeah, I'm not too fussed about the panda one. I hope that's the really difficult one to get, so I just don't care about it.
I hope it isn't. Really hope.
Luke, do you want to tell the listeners what gear is actually in rotation on this GE?
Yes, Mike. I'd love to.
Sorry.
That is the 4 gear sets you can get from this GE are Defense, DeadEye, Tacticians Authority, and Striker.
Nice.
Nice.
I just want to give Rob a bit of a shout out because finally completed my Striker build on PC this week.
Yeah, that's really quite strange how that chest dropped on the first thing we did. Like, in a while.
Yeah. Yeah, because we obviously went back to the division between, what was it, last week and this week, and we jumped straight in the dark zone. If you know us, that's pretty much
I think I got it from a field proficiency cache.
Yeah, I think you did.
Yeah,
I know you were able to share.
I don't know what you were doing because I think you were celebrating getting that as I logged on.
Oh, we were doing inventory management.
Oh, okay.
The game. So the events that you'll be able to play, the missions that will count towards the GE, obviously most things will count, but the main missions that you're going to want to do are Hudson Refugee Camp, so we can officially play that.
Nice.
General Assembly, apparently a lot of people have been shouting for that as well, so that's going to be quite interesting to play. Lincoln Tunnel, I can't remember the last time I played Lincoln Tunnel. Times Square Power Relay, awesome, because that's a good legendary mission, if anything. And
that's
Falcon
going to be
Lost.
one to do then.
Falcon Lost on a GE?
Yeah, it's been done before, dude.
I know, but I love that.
I'm definitely going to play all of those. Yeah. I think Falcon Lost is still my favourite incursion.
Agreed.
Yeah, I gotta admit, I don't like the end of Dragon's Nest. It just takes too long.
I do like Dragon's Nest, but I think Falcon Lost just slightly pips it for me. But yeah, no, I'm totally in for all 5 of those.
And try and get the whole load of accommodations that are going to go with that as well. Yeah. Cool. Anyway, literally, just before we jumped on and recorded, we had some other big news. Luke, do you want to have a stab at this?
I can do. I was kind of hoping you'd explain it, to be honest, because your excitement levels went off the chart when I broke this news to you, because somebody posted it in our Discord, didn't they, earlier? So,
yeah, shout out to Edelon Fox.
I'll just go down through the basics, and I'll let Mike spill verbal diarrhea all over the podcast from then on, because he'll be beside himself. So the news today was broke that Deadpool 2 director David Leitch has decided that his next project will be Ubisoft's The Division movie, which is still going to star Jake Gyllenhaal and Jessica Chastain. I say his next project. It's not officially his next project, because I think he's definitely going to do the Fast and Furious spin-off with The Rock and Jason Statham in it first. But this article said that the Division should begin shooting sometime in 2019, which is fucking awesome news.
Let's be honest, this dude has been pretty damn busy since he finished directing John Wick 1. Like, he went from that straight into Atomic Blonde. Yep. From that, straight into Deadpool 2. He's going straight into the Fast and Furious spin-off, then jumping straight into the Division film, which was previously going to be directed by Steven Gagahan?
Steven Seagal.
Steven Seagal, apparently. But apparently he's left the project. And to be honest, like, we haven't heard anything proper on this for, what, a year, Rob? Because we've thrown stuff out there as a joke. You know, dual flamethrowing, Jake Gyllenhaal in New York. That's all you need on the front cover for the poster. You're done.
Yeah.
But the fact that David Leitch is going to be directing this, from my point of view, he's done some of my favorite films. So, yeah, he's definitely a good choice of talent and pick for director on this.
All the early reviews say Deadpool 2 is awesome, don't they? And John Wick was awesome. So
Rob sent me the new Deadpool 2 trailer today. It looks batshit crazy, and I gotta be honest, I love the dig at DC.
Yeah.
Every time.
I just really want to see that montage of them recruiting people for his team. I think it's going to be hilarious.
Can we just, we've got Jake Gyllenhaal, we got Jessica Chastain.
Yep. Two great pieces of casting, Reynolds. By the way.
Yeah, chances of Ryan Reynolds. Come on, get the bro team together to save New York.
I doubt they can afford Jake Gyllenhaal and Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah, that'd be three very big names, wouldn't it? Because I bet Jessica Chastain's not cheap either.
Maybe a cameo of some sort.
True. I know me and Rob have spoke about this before, but Luke, where would you want them to take the movie? Like, direction? Would you want to see before? I mean, I'm guessing it's going to be set in New York. Would you want to see? Well, we're saying that, but chances are it probably is, or it'd be filmed in Toronto or some shit, and then that's New York. But would you want to see it set before the collapse?
I would personally like to see something from before the collapse. Yes, I'm not sure how much of not sure how much of that they would actually go into, because it depends how much story they could get from Ubisoft, I suppose, or Alex Levine. But I mean, yeah,
didn't the guy who wrote the book, wasn't there news about him recently?
He was in Malmo a couple of months ago, wasn't he?
Right.
Yeah, he was. But I would expect them to be basically not doing whatever they want with it, but they're going to be taking it in its own direction to the video game. But the good thing with the video game is it's not like Uncharted. Every agent has a story itself to tell per agent. Every story is different for an agent. I kind of imagine that they're going to kind of go that route, and this is going to be another iteration of that. Maybe we'll see Fei Lao in the flesh on the big screen.
Well,
didn't think of that.
Having read the whole article whilst you were finishing up the script and stuff, there was a part towards the end that did say that both Gyllenhaal and Chastain have wanted to make the movie as true to the tone of the video game as possible, whilst also putting their own spin on it, because obviously they appreciate that audiences will have sort of appreciation and requirement of their own take on the work as well. So, there's obviously the possibility that they will go off script from the video game a little bit, which I don't think is necessarily a bad thing. Because as good as the story from 1 to 30 is, there's not an awful amount of actual story in there, is there? So,
how do you put the DZ in a film?
Oh, dude.
How would you do it? Do you know what I mean?
Antivirals. Have the antivirals in there for the cured of the virus or something, and they've got to go in there. Last resort sort of thing. Sets it up for a sequel. Potentially they don't get it.
Do you reckon they have to find a key that opens a chest?
You know about some Dark Zone keys by any chance? Very, very clever.
If they're going after the antivirals in the DZ, that would make it survival-esque, though, wouldn't it?
Yes. Yeah. But I mean, it's literally going off what you said. I feel like the story that we have in the first one, you've got is it Infernal Cinematics on Twitter? Those guys that are releasing the Division like video series on YouTube. They're doing their own story with the game, if you know what I mean. And I feel like this is kind of like another iteration of the franchise branching out and telling its own story. Whether it takes like names and faces and brings them to life on the big screen. Yeah.
I really hope they go heavily into like the factions.
The thing is, cool. We've seen this on like TV. For anybody that doesn't know, they actually created the Agent Origins movie. I think you've both watched it, as far as I know.
Yeah, I have.
Yeah,
a long time ago.
Yeah. Now, if that's what they can do with a pretty low budget, that was pretty good. With a decent amount of budget, this could be pretty damn cool. And I'm kind of imagining it to be something kind of along the lines of I Am Legend-esque. But obviously with a few more people in it. And no zombies. But that kind of derelict nature of the city and stuff.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I don't know. We'll have to see. But that, to me, is pretty damn exciting news. As long as it doesn't turn out to be Doom.
I was going to say, it's a video, it's a game, it's a film based on a video game. And they always do really well at the cinema, box offices and stuff, don't they?
Well, my counter argument to that is we've all seen snippets, like pictures and whatever, of the remake of Tomb Raider that's coming out soon. I think if that does really well at the cinema, the Division movie will have to be pretty fucking awesome.
Yeah, I think we'll have to see what happens. But I know me and Rob have both seen the Assassin's Creed movie. To me, it's unfortunate with that film that they didn't spend more time in the past, which is what people want to see. It's an Assassin's Creed movie, than trying to shoehorn like all the future stuff that kind of happens. So I'm kind of hoping that they don't do that so much, like relying too much on, I guess in this case, it would be before the collapse, relying on that too much and then going to like where it's all,
For that the Division film, they should have just stole the plot from the Assassin's Creed 2. That storyline is just amazing.
I think with the Assassin's Creed film, that Assassin's Creed film, they could have done exactly what they did. Take out all the future stuff, just expand it. He wakes up in, where was it, Rome? I can't remember where that one. No, it's in Spain, wasn't it?
Don't remember.
I can't remember where it was set, but basically have the end of the film and he's waking up from the Animus, which would lead into the sequel, and then you've got like a full-length Assassin's Creed movie that people want to see, not without all like the future, past, present stuff constantly going.
Yeah, but then that's a good idea, but then people know he's going to be in the Animus because from the games.
I'm pretty sure they don't do that with Origins. Don't know 100%, haven't played it, but I'm pretty sure the Animus doesn't play into it too much. Anyway, Division. Really cool news. You happy with that, boys?
Yeah, definitely.
Plus, Deadpool 2.
Flamethrowers.
Deadpool 2 is like around the corner. Not around the corner from my house or anything. Anyway, let's get on to discussion. So I threw out a tweet last week asking people, what's the one thing you'd like to see in the Division game carry over or continue in the Division 2? Luke, do you want to start off? These are some of your replies.
You want me to read the replies or you want my answer?
Replies, dude.
Okay.
You have to read all of them.
I don't know this guy's surname. At Smurf043 said, I would like to see HVTs carried over, but with an upgrade. Make them more difficult so that they could be something like a timed public event where other agents can help you fight them in the light zone. That's a really good idea.
It's as if we thought of it ourselves at some point.
Yoink, stealing that. Hey, I know that dude on Twitter says, give us all Cronus Maxes so we can compete. Yeah, well done to that dude.
We play on PC. Does that count? Rob?
No, you don't need a Cronus Max on PC.
Okay, thank
Macros,
you for clearing
Macros.
The next one comes in from Captain from our Discord, and he says, we need to see the main storyline continue. Don't do something like Destiny 2 and come up with a complete new storyline that we'll never see the end of. Apart from the obvious choice, I want to see survival mode carried over with all the new features. Battle Royale mode, speedruns, random loot, world tier. I like all of it, but I think Battle Royale modes are being played out now. I'm just kind of getting tired of it. Yeah. But we'll have to see. I think Survival's got its own style of Battle Royale mode, which maybe we kind of, I don't know, looked past at the time. Luke?
Agent Joe followed up Captain's tweet, agreeing that basically he'd already said everything. She would also like to see some content creator tools implemented into Division 2. Something like a free cam tool or a sound database, which again is a really good idea, actually.
Yeah, because the community has gone to like not huge lengths, but like the community itself is pretty resourceful. I mean, we've got tools for the Division. Unfortunately, they're not official, so you can actually go in and create videos if you want using the Haiti tools. And, someone at some point has gone through all the files in the game and pulled out all the Isaac files from the sound database of the games. They're just, they have to be extracted.
With Agent Joe talking about screenshots and the free cam tool, I guess it remains to be seen what NVIDIA Ansel will do. Yeah. So if that works the way they made it sound like it was going to work last week, that should pretty much sort those two out for us straight away. So,
yeah, I don't think it's going to be like the video side of it though, which I think a lot of people want to do to create content like machinima videos and things like that for YouTube. Who else we've got? Dead Sock Puppet replied, how about a dozen things the Division 2 needs? If you haven't seen it, definitely go check out his video over on YouTube. I think it's youtube.com/DeadSockPuppet. If not, just search him on YouTube and you'll find his video over there. Aaron, or at SHD Agent AR007, asks, let us carry over one gear set if we don't have to start from scratch again, or leave the DZ how it is. Rogue 2.0 took the surprise out of going rogue. If anything, take Rogue 2.0 out. Gotta be honest, disagree.
I don't want to carry anything over from Division to Division 2. I know shields are coming and that will give us something working towards the new game.
Vanity stuff, though, isn't it? It's all going to be vanity.
Yeah, I don't want to be able to take any of my progress over from Division 1 to Division 2. I really don't. Sorry, Aaron, I can't disagree with you more on that one.
Not even your commendation patches?
No, because I agree with a tweet that P3T3 put out, was literally just said commendations. I'd like commendations to be day one in Division 2 rather than when they came for Division 1, was it year 2?
Agree.
If you could get commendations from day one and we just get all brand new patches, even if some of the patches are the same as the previous game, let me earn them again. I'm happy to do that. Not a problem with that at all.
Yeah, I think going back on what you were saying about shields, one of the one of them has to be completing all commendations. Do you know what I mean? To be able to transfer over. So,
Wow.
we don't know what Shields is, but it's got to be like a patch or
Not many people have done that.
significant.
You know that,
I'd
right?
be interested
No,
to
I
know
know,
if
but
anybody's completed all commendations, to be honest.
No, they
I
have.
think people
Someone
have.
has.
Yeah,
Really?
they're difficult.
Awesome.
Yeah, they're difficult. But shout out to those people that have, and what better way than awarding those players in Division 2 by showing off you've completed all your commendations from the first game. Look at me.
Yeah,
Well done,
that'd
you
be
have no
cool.
life.
At James Kennedy 87 says, how about the glorious detail to everything from the Division 1? Totally agree. But I think might see a bit of a bump in the new game if it's Snowdrop 2.0, maybe.
Yeah.
At W Douglas V on Twitter says, don't add anything new, fix what is taxing, recrafting cost, Dark Zone vendor supplies, maybe a little more interaction with sub-characters. I can understand the sub-characters a little bit, it's a little bit vague, but I mean, stuff, I think from our point of view, it's going to be completely scrapped and rebooted from, not rebooted, but like stripped away and figured out what works, what doesn't, and have like a refreshing take on it. It won't. I don't think we're getting the same game again, but I could be wrong. Luke?
At least 4 people said they want to see survival in Division 2, which I think is a good shout. It's just a shame not many people play it in Division 1, so that probably means it won't make a return, unfortunately. And just as many people saying keep the Dark Zone in Division 2 as well, which I feel is kind of a given, to be honest. I don't think it would be the Division without the Dark Zone. I don't know if you two agree with that, but...
No, that's what makes the Division the Division.
Yeah.
Without it, it's not
The Division?
It's like
I was trying to think of an example to like.
That's
but
the
there
thing. There's
isn't.
nothing like it, though. That's what makes it. Rob, do you want to take the last one on the list?
What? That's not even a no. I don't.
What? My God, you are terrible. I apologize. He's been drinking. Dr. Kirschler says, Olostrand, the composer, who brought some awesome freaking music to the game. How about these apples?
I don't like apples. I was going to say that kind of leads on. One of the things kind of leads on to one of the questions we've had this week.
Well, hold on. Just before we disappear, the final one comes from at Dr. Hex 1975 that says, to be honest, don't take stuff out and make the same mistake as Bungie by taking Destiny 2 back to the Stone Age. You need the same features, just tweaked. Any thoughts, Robert?
No.
Hey, you've been poking the Destiny bear today with some people.
You're right.
Sorry, you did what to a bear?
Poked it. No, someone in my clan chat asked our clan what they would want to see in Destiny 2 to fix it. And I basically said, I don't care.
I never thought those words would leave your mouth.
I know, right?
Quite proud of you.
To be honest, dude. Yeah. But, I mean, let's be honest. Anyone that follows dev culture or anything that's happening with games in general, or just trends or anything that goes good, bad, or ugly in the community. I mean, we said it before. Battlefront, obviously, PUBG is a huge success. Well, not PUBG, but like the Battle Royale thing is like a huge success at the minute. But then also downfalls as well. People take a stab at Destiny 2 and how, it's not doing so well. But we were in a situation 2 years ago where The Division came out, and for a lot of people, wasn't in a great place, and a lot of people left. But 2 years later, massive step by the game with all the other studios as well, and brought the game up to scratch to what it is today. So I mean, even if it does go back a little bit, I guess we have faith that they'll always bring it back up to the standards that we want. I just think for a lot of people, they don't want it to kind of hit that load to start with, straight off the bat.
I think people need to temper their expectations a little bit, though, don't they? I honestly can't remember if I said this last week or if I just wanted to say this last week, but it's inevitable that the Division 2 will come out with quite a lot less content than what is in the Division 1 now. And I just worry that a lot of people will pick the game up and go, well, this is just fucking bare bones Division. This is shit, and just throw it away.
I agree with you. I think what people don't understand is development time, and they had 5 years? Was it 3 to 5 years for development time for the original game? Plus time, we've had 2 years worth of content on top of that, and dev time for that content to get everything that we've got now. You look at that time span from initial development of the game itself to where we stand now. There's no way that they're going to have everything you want day one.
No,
otherwise we'd have no DLC.
Yes, but what we got with the Division 1 from day one, we had a roadmap.
Yes, we did.
If they do the same thing, that's what will keep people coming back. Is the fact that, okay, it's bare bones now, but then you're going to get this in a month, and a month later you're going to get something else, and a month later you're going to get something else. It didn't quite happen like that in Division 1 because they had to set things back. But in the long run, that was a good thing because you got 1.4.
Yeah, which is the best thing that ever happened to the game. Luke?
I was just, obviously, Rob is the bigger Destiny fan out of the three of us. That goes without saying, but
Not anymore.
Didn't Destiny 2 come out with a roadmap, though?
Yes.
I mean, I'm not trying to compare the two. I am, but I'm not at the same time because I don't expect.
No, you're right.
I don't expect Division 2 to come
out
out anywhere near as bad as Destiny 2 did. But
you buy a season pass and you get there's 2 DLCs, and they've just announced what's coming. Well, they didn't really announce. They've announced an announcement for the DLC.
Oh, right. So they literally only told you that you were getting DLCs. They didn't tell you what the DLCs were.
No, they just those little pictures. Like, that's one thing Bungie good at. They give you little tasters, and then the hype train leaves the station, and everyone speculates, and that kind of runs their PR for them.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah. I'd say I just want people to just be careful of how hyped they get over the Division 2. I mean, obviously we know E3 is coming up in a couple of months, so that's going to give us some indication of exactly what to expect. But yeah, we're not going to get anywhere near a content-rich game as what we've got at the moment, and I just don't want people to instantly trash it.
I agree with you, but I will say this. For the amount of people that are working on this game that we know, and it's bigger than the first game, there is a good chance there could be far more content on release than the original Division game.
I agree with you.
No.
Potentially. But, like you just said, temper expectations.
Yeah, I agree with what you said. I think Division 2 will come out with more content than Division 1 did at the same point in its life cycle, but it's still going to have less content in it than what we've got now. And people need to realise that it will be effectively a step backwards for a little while until obviously they ramp up the content cycle of the Division 2, because that's how a game like this works. You get bare bones gear to start with, and then they introduce more powerful gear, and then even more powerful gear onto that, and then you get incursions, and then you get horde mode activities, and then you get fucking raids and whatever else you're going to get in the Division 2. So there's going to be that logical progression of the game starting from zero, if you like, and getting better and better and better and better from there. It's just where on the Richter scale zero actually sits, I guess.
You've got to remember that it's a product that they're selling, and they need to make money, so they're not going to give you everything for 40 quid.
100%.
They're going to eke it out. It's just, this is how the business works. It's just how games work now.
And we know it's going to launch with the season pass, right? So obviously you're paying for more content from that as well. So, but hey, whatever. I'm going off completely off script.
That's fine. No, but like literally what you said, Ubisoft are one of the biggest backers of, continuing live service. Like I've got faith that Ubisoft will continue to help massive support this game until obviously if it does well.
Dead game.
We're talking years, down the road that we'll probably get another game. Probably, but it's not a bad thing. I wouldn't want everything to be there on day one that we have now.
Yeah, because you would just burn through it all and you wouldn't appreciate
exactly.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
AKA it gives Destiny 2.
But I think what maybe a lot of people are feeling worried about is some of the core features being missing from Division 2. Maybe things like loadouts, little things like that, which should be there day one. That's, not an update. It's awesome to have them, but, I can imagine that's the sort of things that people are talking about, not DLC as in content.
I'd like them to be ready to be implemented in the game, but maybe not in the game straight away. Because I feel we won't need them straight away. I don't think there's going to be that many gear sets, that many options for us to begin with.
We might not even need loadouts. We don't know what the hell's going to happen. It could go the skill tree route that happened last week, that we discussed. And if you want to check that out, go check out episode 103 from last week.
Shameless plug.
Anyway, let's move on. Robert, do you want to take the top question from this week's question segment?
Yes. This was a direct response from last week. Dead Sock Puppet asks, for someone coming back to the game whose loadouts are mostly 275, what path do you suggest I take? What should I farm for gear? Should I optimize pieces I have to help? Are the exotic pieces still good? What would be the best PV builds to try and start? Excuse me. So I can jump back in. Also, I tend to play solo, so things like legendary missions and incursions are probably out.
Okay, so I'm going to answer that first one. Loadouts, 275 gear score, not important. Would you agree, boys?
Yeah.
Don't focus on that number. It's not Destiny. Focus on what you have rather than what gear score it's at. Obviously, make sure it's World Tier 5. Otherwise, then you might have a little bit of problems. Anybody want to suggest places to farm for gear?
To be honest with you, now that 1.8.1 is live, literally anywhere. I don't think there's a wrong answer for that anymore.
Incursions, legendaries all have, what was it, a 10, 20% chance of dropping? Or is it even higher than that, I think? I can't even remember.
Still think the DZ is probably the best place to go.
Yeah, if you've got a team of 4, but then he's playing solo.
Yeah, DZ.
But then you've got matchmaking. Yeah. Exotic gear pieces. Luke, what would you say are the best exotic gear pieces at the minute?
The house. It's literally it.
The whole house and nothing but the house?
If he's struggling for gear set pieces, then a ninja bag's going to help you a lot with builds.
Yep, good point actually, Rob.
To get to the point of having a full classified set.
Yeah, I think I was running, what was it, 2 striker and 3 pred, or the other way around with the ninja bag. That was pretty good. If you haven't got full classy. Otherwise, best PvE build, I don't know if Rob will agree on this. D3. Classy.
Yeah, that or striker. Or even even if you've got nomad as well. Nomad, like if you can do like a striker nomad ninja bag build is always good.
I'll throw sentry in on PvE builds as well, because that thing wrecks. If you get a 6-piece classified sentry, nothing lives past 6 marks. You just destroy content. So
Nice.
However, just to tag on to the end of that, if you are wanting to try and do some legendary solo, an electronics heavy build is the way forward, because even I've soloed one of the legendaries using a skill build, and I hate skill builds.
Nice. And if you are chasing D3 or Striker next week, obviously, GE Blackout. And we'll be dropping in that global event.
Go nuts.
Next question comes from Wilco. If you don't know, I'm pretty sure he's one of the hosts of Tom Clancy's Locked On podcast, our Aussie friends from Down Under. And he asks, I assume the Bullet King was the focus of the sequel. I don't want us to be stuck in Christmas forever again. I prefer a living, persistent world that would change over time. What I do want to see is all the current game mode offerings come forward, so we do get new content and have everything we know and love with a twist in the box for Division 2 and more. Add from there. I think that's what we all want to see, isn't that, boys?
Yeah.
I'd like to see us kind of get out of Christmas a little bit, maybe a couple of months later, summer. But then you get summer in the game anyway, so. But then the Blizzard's kind of cool.
I think they'll go. I honestly think they'll go autumn, because then you can still put some weather effects in there.
Leaves.
If you go summer, it's either going to be warm or cloudy. You don't get an awful lot of. Well, living in England, you get a fuckload of rain in summer, I suppose. So that kind of ruins that idea. But
it all depends on where we are.
Yeah,
that is the big question, isn't it?
I just think
Vegas, you could do like sandstorms and stuff, couldn't you?
Yeah, true.
Ooh.
We said Vegas as well, didn't we?
And yeah, huge shout out to the Tom Clancy Locked On podcast. They are over on our Discord now. They've made it their second home over on Bullets and Beers. So if anyone's interested, you can catch them there, as well as us and Bombshell Jackets.
I'll put the Discord link in the show notes this week, actually, so you can catch that there. Cheeky Dead Sock Puppet comes up with another question. He wants to know why Rob's picture on the Mash Those Buttons website is him dressed as the Terminator. He then adds on that, and I still love that you guys chose Luke's shotty pick as his pick on Mash Those Buttons. Yeah, less said about that, the better, I think. But you can take the Terminator bit, Rob.
I don't remember why I picked that picture. Did I pick that picture? I think I did.
Yes, you did.
I'm not a very photogenic person, so I think I just like that picture. Someone photoshopped it for me like years ago.
Without your permission.
Without my permission, I found it hilarious. That's why. Yeah.
Next question comes from Rampancy over at Bombshell Jackets, and he says, if grilled cheese was from Europe, would he be called a toasty?
Yes.
Technically a cheese toasty, but yes.
Yeah, cheese toast.
What if it has beans in it?
Cheesy bean toasty?
Yeah.
But he's not. He's a grilled cheese, so that means he's just cheese toasty, right?
It's not a complicated formula, dude. It's just a toasty of whatever ingredients you put inside it.
Yeah, but a grilled cheese, like... Thing is, if he was from Wales, it'd be called something else as well.
Hey, enough said about Wales this week, the better. I think we've talked about Wales enough. Robert.
I disagree.
Shout out to Reaper anyway. Thanks for joining us on Twitch this week. Next question comes from Cap over on our Discord and Twitter, who has been putting out some awesome ads for Agent Rolex watches. If you haven't seen them, go check them out. Is it 6 Golf Bravo?
Yeah, this question links to what we were talking about earlier.
Yeah, very briefly, Survival Underground and Last Stand being paid DLCs on the Division. How do you think those mods could be implemented in the Division 2? Will we have to pay for them again, or will they be there available on day 1 or even come later in the Division 2 life cycle? I'm going to say if they're add-ons, yes, you will have to pay for them again, which is fair enough because they would have had to put the time and effort in to adapting them to the sequel.
But they will be updated versions of themselves, right? So
yeah, they would have spent time and effort on it. So at the end of the day, it's people buy remastered versions of games, it wouldn't be that much different.
Take my money. Take my money.
Yeah. Luke?
I want to stick with what I said earlier. Excuse me. And say that I don't think Survival is going to make it into the sequel. As sad as that is to actually admit.
No, I think you might be right.
I don't know where I stand with Last Stand, because to me,
Did you just make a pun? I
just basically repeated
Doesn't know
myself.
where he stands with Last Stand.
I was just wondering if Rob was going to spit out his wine there.
Because I can't even think what the other fucking PvP mode's called now. I've gone completely blank.
Skirmish,
thank you.
Sorry, DZ.
Is instantly better than Last Stand, but I understand the appeal of Last Stand to other people because there's a PvE element to it. So for my money, one of those will come with the Division 2 on release, and one of them will be a paid DLC. I definitely think there'll be a bigger, better version of Underground in TD2 as well.
Oh,
They might even have a proper Horde mode down there, rather than just Resistance.
Have some multiplayer maps down there.
Yeah,
or just
What about Underground with a PvP side option?
We've said
I know Rob wants it.
I want it all. I want it all. Yeah, I agree. PvP, I really hope that's a separate mode from day one, so people who don't want to go in the Dark Zone can jump in there.
No, I take it back. I want the PvP mode to come in DLC 1 so that people have to go in the Dark Zone.
Last question not feedback, Robert, comes from Born Diesel. Thank you very much, dude. What are your theories on the Hunters' origins and allegiances? Do you think we'll get their backstory in the sequel? I don't know, being honest. They were kind of thrown in there, and there was no lore that went alongside it. It was kind of they're really cool. I think we've had a little bit more lore since 1.8 dropped with the I can't remember the name of them, voice intel that you pick up. Audio logs.
The audio logs.
Aaron Keener ones.
Yeah. Was there a little bit more in there about the Hunters? I can't remember.
Don't think so. I mean, if there was,
should remain anonymous. Which kind of...
I still like them being part of the Tom Clancy universe and having them being ex-Rainbow Six operatives that are pissed at Division agents for some reason. Kind of Universal Soldier style.
Oh,
Dolph Lundgren goes fucking mental.
Our S6 names like Buck and Tachanka. That'd be amazing.
Why? Because they're the dicks of the Division.
just make all the operators from Rainbow Six fucking hunters. That would be amazing.
It would be cool though, ex-operatives and
fucking money now.
Have the Division agents be standby Rainbow Six operatives, but they're pissed. The hunters are pissed that they're on. They didn't fucking stick with them or some shit.
What about
I just break the fourth wall and just be pissed because they're in a different game?
What about the ultimate Ubisoft plot twist, trolling all the community, and the hunters are actually the zombies of the Division that everybody's not wanted from the start?
That's why they wear masks to hide their disgusting, decayed body face.
They're one better than that because it's part of the Ubisoft franchise. They're rabbits.
What? The hunter mask is just hiding their ears?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, we went too far. We broke.
So whenever you get killed by a hunter, it's actually a rabbit or severed.
Or maybe just going a little bit too deep. Maybe the rabbits caused the zombie virus that infected the hunters. The hunters get bitten by the rabid rabbits.
Oh wow.
I don't think Splinter Shells could be very happy.
He's gonna hunt you down, dude. You've had it. No, to give Born Diesel my serious answer, I think, to be honest, we will actually get some origin of the hunters, especially if like was being rumored a while ago, if the Division 2 is like set in Washington or somewhere with somewhere where you could
Power.
Yeah, somewhere where you could easily
hunters are
implement
actually
into the story that
politicians.
you could get some, like Rob's just said, some political side story to it, or somewhere where you could find some classified documents or something like that. They could potentially give you like a side mission that is discovering the hunters or something daft like that. I think that would be good because, you know, everybody loves the hunters, don't they? So a little bit more story behind those guys would be, I think, really well received, actually.
Yeah, I've said before, I want to see, like, you know, Riker's hideout where the hunters have just gone in, wrecked shop, you don't see them, but they've been there, and you've been sent down there to, like, take out the Rikers or go take out, like, the new guy. And, yeah.
I was just with you talking about the Rikers. What if in Division 2 we get a proper rioter boss and, you know, a proper, like, leader of the cleaners as well?
That would be pretty cool.
Because we've got the other two, haven't we? Like Leray and
yeah.
What's his face?
Bullet King?
No, Bliss is the leader of the LMB, isn't he?
Oh, yeah. Bliss, yeah.
Bloody Bullet King.
Who was on about Bullet King? Someone's on Wilco was on about Bullet King. Someone's like, they're definitely bringing Bullet King back for the sequel. I was like, well, I'm pretty sure he's dead several times over.
They've got to bring Bullet King back for the sequel. Otherwise, what's Rempency going to talk about on Bombshell Jackets?
That he'll be back in the DLC. Bullet King, back from the dead or something.
Bullet King, the DLC. Now with a new mixtape.
I'm going to leave the last one to Robert.
Aww. Make me read stuff. Okay, this is feedback from Boris, aka Spec Beats. Hey boys, listened to the ep finally, and I wanted to add that 1.8.2 will bring us 2 more legendary missions that have been kept secret. So for loot drop chat change to be what it is now makes sense. I'm going to be frank. Hi Frank. The new legendary missions are awesome, but with a full classy squad, they're easy, like no wipe and nothing that can't be handled easily. For players that are not quite there yet, it's a perfect challenge for them. For me, who's already classy, it's a challenge simply because of randoms not up to the par yet. I just want to add that after this feedback, there was a bit of a discussion about how the new legendary missions don't have any mechanics to them, which I failed to put on the script, but I just thought that was quite interesting because Luke, you had quite a long conversation with Boris and Dave, Wob, on our Discord about that. The fact that the first 3 have, well, one of them doesn't really have mechanics. I mean, you have to carry a box, but that was in the original mission anyway. But yeah, he also says, grilled cheese, that IFM was awesome, dude.
Yes, it was. Thank you very much to Grilled Cheese. And shout out to Mike Stump Thoughts on Twitter. He did send us an email about normalization for the current game, and we'll probably talk about it next week, if that's cool with you guys.
No, it's not.
No.
Fuck off.
We have read your email. We just haven't got around to getting it on the show yet. But we'll try and discuss that next week. Anyway, that is the show for this week. A lot of feedback, a lot of thoughts from the community for a change, which is pretty cool. Thank you very much for
we did
all your
a State of
input.
the Game. We did a community focused episode.
Yeah, I wouldn't really call it that, but there we go. I think Petter does a damn sight better job than we do, so huge shout out to Petter as always. He has to put up with the cringe even worse than we do on a weekly basis. Well, that's debatable. Anyway, Robert, where can the listeners find us that haven't already?
Yeah. You can find us at SITREP Radio on Twitter, Facebook, and Discord. Send any questions or feedback to us over to sitrepRadiopod@gmail.com or via the socials. Also, we post full episodes and other content, not really, from us every week over on the YouTube. So head youtube.com/SITREP Radio. So, and also please leave a comment and subscribe. Luke?
As always, you can find this podcast over on iTunes, Apple Podcasts for iOS, Podbean, Google Play Music, and SoundCloud. You can find links to all of those platforms and more over at mashthosebuttons.com. And please, whilst you're there, rate, review, and subscribe. Thank you!
If you do head over to mashthosebuttons.com, then make sure to check out some of the other podcasts that are a part of the Mash Those Buttons family. We do live stream as often as we can, so if you're interested in dropping by and chatting with us whilst we play The Division, and probably Siege, which we're quite loving at the minute, you can find us over at twitch.tv/SITREP Radio, and when Rob's streaming, /SITREP Radio Rob, to check out Rob's streams. Thank you very much to the Division Elites on Facebook. If you're an Xbox player, please go check out the Division HQ on Twitter and Discord. An awesome group. Thank you very much for them supporting us. And obviously, huge shout out to you guys listening every week and putting up with us. I think that's it. Thanks for listening, agents. We'll catch you next week. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Rob, you drunk, go home.
Shut up.
You're listening to a Mash Those Buttons podcast. Visit mashthosebuttons.com for a full podcast schedule.
Cargo secured. Extraction